Out here in downtown Portland, Oregon. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Wesley Matthews, do you think?
I think he's best as a spot-up shooter. When he can play off of his teammates and find openings on the perimeter, just catch and shoot. Got a quick release, beautiful stroke.
He does such a nice job of getting himself squared up and in perfect position before the ball gets there, preparing before the pass.
And for the Memphis Grizzlies, guys, they come in off that loss to Denver in the Rockies. A real closely contested game. They couldn't come up with a couple of key baskets, and they lost by 3.
Kevin, that game defensively was an absolute nightmare. They went into that building and just got blown out by a very hot team.
Well, they didn't defend those shooters like they should have, and once the fans got into it and the arena started rocking and thumping and bumping, things only got worse. Tayshaun Prince had been a Piston his whole career, guys, and I thought he might end his career there. But last season, he was shipped over to Memphis to replace Rudy Gay, and it's been a hand-in-glove fit because of the blue-collar style of Memphis, and that's kind of how Prince plays, especially at the defensive end.
Now Conley, following Prince's three-point attempt. Kufis the pass to Allen. Conley for 3, and that one's good. Conley's got the first 3 points tonight for the Grizzlies.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
And Tayshaun Prince, a low-mistake player offensively and defensively.
Yeah, he doesn't turn it over offensively. He can actually play some point forward because of his ball handling ability. And defensively smart. He doesn't gamble. Just uses those long arms to keep you away from the hoop and challenge your shot.
Now here is Conley, following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Conley dishes to Prince. Allen kicks to Randolph. That's good.
Great interplay there between those two teammates.
And now just over a minute played here in the first. Conley against Lillard. The feed to Lopez. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Lillard, and the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. Conley into the lane, kicks it out to Prince. Prince, right side. Here's Randolph. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
You know, it's interesting. Zach Randolph had a few off-the-court issues early in his career, especially when he was with the Portland Trail Blazers. And the Grizzlies gave up almost nothing to acquire him from the Clippers. But they've got to be glad that they did, because he's developed into an outstanding player and really a good teammate as well. He's become a leader of that club.
Now here is Aldridge. He's coming off a 10-point game against Charlotte.
And a phenomenal showing on the board. His rebounding was a huge factor. Well, it took a while, but somebody finally got a shot to go.
You know, I was starting to get a little concerned for them. I mean, it hadn't been pretty to this point.
Randolph was asked by someone in the press court, why was he such a great fit in Memphis? He said, it's a blue-collar town, and I'm a blue-collar type player. I kind of like that, Clark.
You know, that says it all right there. To me, and I would factor in this too, Kevin, his strength and physicality certainly fit with the DNA of that team. Their culture is built on effort and bruising play, and Zach Randolph fits into that nicely.
I'll tell you what, he's made more than a few of those in his career.
Looking at Portland, they took a win in their last game against Charlotte.
And I thought, guys, they were the beneficiary of what was some lackluster defense being played against them.
I agree with you. I mean, it was really shocking how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Now here is Conley after the miss from Lopez. Prince misses. Lillard with it, now guarded by Kufis. And Lillard kicks to Batum. Passes to Matthews. Lets the three fly. That's good.
You know, offensively, he's just one of those guys that needs a touch of space to get his shot up. That's all. And if he runs his man off a screen or somehow finds an opening, that's it. He's going to let that thing go.
Something else I think of with him is that three-point shot from the corner. I mean, that's his shot. And we've certainly seen him drain a bunch of them.
And here is Conley following the three from Wesley Matthews. Rocket two from the arc. Conley's shot is off. Trailblazers trail by 5. And Matthews kicks to Batum. Fires for 3. Matthews no good.
Almost surprised that he had that much room to work with.
Randolph against Aldridge. Conley, the pass to Allen. Dishes it to Kufis. And yes, sir, that one drops. Kufis has got his first points of the night.
They've been hot here early, dropping them in left and right.
Let's see how long they can keep it going. This is quite a start.
And Lillard kicks to Lopez. Shoots from 14, and he connects with the jumper. 35 seconds left to play here in the first. Conley with it. 23 points for him the last game against the Nuggets in Denver.
Yeah, not to mention 4 big steals on the night. He's getting it done at both ends of the floor.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily strategic, Clark. It's just a matter of playing with more heart. Got to play hard, guys.
Lillard against Conley. Lillard dishes to Aldridge. Rejected by Randolph. And it's out of bounds as the Portland Trailblazers retain possession. Five seconds left here in the opening quarter. Williams, that's for 2, and no good trying to get that one. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Grizzlies lead by 7. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
Tune in next.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Grizzlies.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the other thing they're doing is forcing a lot of turnovers, and that's helping them to get easy points at the other end.
Trailblazers trail by 7.
A lot of what Memphis has done to build its team would have to be considered taking the undervalued approach. You look at guys like Zebo, Marc Gasol, and most recently Jared Bayless. Those were good players that really have found a nice home in Memphis.
They've got Terrell Wright. Joel Freeland is out there with Robinson. Then there's Batum, and it's Williams at the point. They're the group that Portland Trailblazers will start the second quarter with. Miller kicks to Davis. Shot clock at 6. The dish to Lure. Memphis the rebound. Here's Johnson. Tried to tip it in, but couldn't quite get it. Here's Batum. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Kicks to Freeland. 13 feet away. Here's Robinson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, this guy's an animal on the glass, Kevin. I mean, there may be some bigger and stronger rebounds in the NBA, but nobody plays with this kind of energy and zeal.
And one more thing to point out about him is what a rugged player he is, how hard he works every game, and he's always battling.
Well, Clark, just talking about Memphis, they really have taken a group of players that were thought to be non-impact roster spots, and Steve, they've turned things around with them.
Kind of comes across in the way the entire team plays. It's a blue-collar group, Kevin. Some cast-offs, guys with a chip on their shoulder, but they've got a toughness and an edge about them. And I think it's really helped this team create its identity.
They get it back. Johnson. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Nicholas Batum.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one. You know, for now, the Trailblazers are still the basketball team in the Pacific Northwest. You know, Seattle made a strong push to acquire the Kings, made a record bid, but the owners decided that Sacramento had done its part to keep the Kings, and so Seattle has to wait.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Zach Randolph's checked in for Davis. Prince comes in for Lure. And it's Conley in for Mike Miller. Now, here's Lillard. Coming off a solid outing against Charlotte. And Clark, going back, you know, the Blazers, one of 3 teams in the Pacific Northwest. You also had the Sonics in Seattle, and Steve, you know, the Vancouver Grizzlies.
And I think those 2 cities, particularly Seattle, Kevin, are strong contenders for a new NBA franchise. Of course, Seattle almost ended up with the Sacramento Kings, but when Sacramento was awarded the franchise, a lot of people felt like it was only a matter of time before Seattle would be granted an expansion team.
Randolph sets a screen for Conley. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good. Conley's got the lead up to 8 now for the Grizzlies. For Portland, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Here's Freeland, takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
After digging themselves that hole in the first quarter, this club is starting to shoot the ball much better now.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it takes a little while to work out the knots. I mean, they're starting to put it together.
Now here's Randolph. He's got 7, and he gets it to go. Randolph's got 9. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. So timeout called here, the first for Portland. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
This game kicks off what should be an interesting season series between these clubs. And, of course, they'll see each other 4 times this year.
Well, as Steve was saying, Clark, you know, they're in the same conference. There's going to be a lot of familiarity there. And who knows, after that, they may see each other in the playoffs, too, if all goes right for them.
Well, that's certainly a possibility, Kevin, but we've got a long way to go before that scenario comes to pass.
That's right. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Yes, guys, over that last break, I listened to Dave Yeager address his team. He was intent on running the offense through Randolph. Coach turned to the team in the huddle and said, quote, "Tonight he's going to be the player that carries us. Let's start getting him more touches." He also communicated to his players that he wants to see them consistently feeding the ball into the low post to get their bigs some easy looks. Well, Coach not wasting any time in tweaking the game plan. We'll see if it makes a difference as we approach halftime, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Lillard. After the made shot from Allen. Shot is good, and the Memphis leads get down to 8. Again, the points coming from Lopez.
Now the shots are starting to fall a little bit more than they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, they say it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive in golf. Well, the shaky start can be overcome because now they're starting to heat up.
Now here's Allen. He's coming off a 10-point game against Denver.
And with 3 steals, he also showed some grit and toughness at the defensive end.
Williams can't hit.
You know, you talk about an elite perimeter defender in the NBA. Tony Allen has become the player you think of when you want to lock somebody up. I mean, he just makes life a nightmare for outside shooters.
Now here's Prince. Mo Williams unable to get his shot to go. And here's Conley outside. Good. Conley's got 5 points in the quarter.
But you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Aldridge with a screen on Conley. Aldridge, the pass to Lillard. That's good. And Tony Allen, a regular, as always, Steve, on this NBA defensive teams list. You see, it's a guy that has always been included in that.
Well, his on-ball defense is amazing. And the great thing about Tony Allen is the pressure he puts on opponents and the versatility. You can put him on virtually anybody on the opposition, and he's going to do a good job.
Ed Davis is checked in for Memphis. Lure comes in for Zach Randolph. Wesley Matthews on the wing. Wide open look. Here's Robinson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
And here is Conley. He's got 10. In low to Davis. Stolen by Robinson. With 1 on the clock, and the dunk by Lopez.
That's how you make it happen, guys. Ball pressure and then a run out.
And those are the kind of plays that will turn that deficit into a lead quickly. So solid defense on the ball, that's the key.
In a tight game here as we end the first half. Memphis out in front, leading by 5. And get ready now for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. The second half will be coming up right after that on 2K Sports.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Let's get into the first half breakdown. We're starting to get into the thick of the NBA season. The Grizzlies have been rolling along so far. Just 1 win away from moving into the 8th place in the conference, and they're definitely motivated. It's been a Michael Conley clinic in this one against Portland. What a weapon he's been for them. Dangerous from everywhere, mid-range, in the paint, and beyond the arc. On the other hand, the Trailblazers are still alive. Second chance points, a major key so far. They've been the first to the ball whenever there's a missed shot. The first half, a productive one for Damian Lillard. He's picked up 4 points, and he's made some key plays in the assist department, too. Still more NBA on the way. Real scores, real stats from the real NBA. Over at 18, LeBron James picked
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
Really an extraordinary game for Conley. He's got 10 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
Well, they might want to think about setting a few more screens for him to try to give him another open look or two.
Trailblazers trail by 5.
You know, guys, you look at the roster of this Memphis team, and they have a lot to offer. Size and strength inside, playmakers on the perimeter, and improving an outstanding point guard in Mike Conley Jr., but you have to wonder, have they hit their ceiling?
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Prince is the 3 and Randolph the 4. Conley and Allen are the guard set. And it's Kufis in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now Lillard after the missed 3 from Allen. Batum off the pick from Aldridge. Open shot, Batum. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J. Clark had talked about the Grizzlies don't have a megastar that other teams do to lean on in crunch time. And Steve, you know, they traded the closest thing to that in Rudy Gay last season.
Well, closest thing is right, Kevin. Rudy Gay was not a superstar. He was very, very good, but if he was a true superstar, they would not have moved him. So I think they just felt like they couldn't afford Gay's contract. They wanted to move on and play through their big men, Gasol and Randolph. And I think in the end, probably a wise decision because...
Oh, man, what a play. Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Matthews dishes to Lillard. Back to Matthews. Drains the three-pointer. Matthews has got 6.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
Conley kicks to Allen. Conley with it, and Batum picks him up defensively. Prince's shot is good.
How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive, huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away.
Now a timeout called by Portland. And during the timeout, both coaches getting a chance here to review the strategy at this point of the game, along with the discussions. Also some rehydration going on with Gatorade. Everyone trying to bring their top game here tonight.
Yeah, that's why you see the trainers going around to every player, making sure they're hydrated, they're getting enough to drink during the game. And so important to hydrate yourself and keep yourself strong and ready to play for these big minutes down the stretch.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Bayless is checked in. And stolen by Prince. And they're on the break. A nice shot by Kufis. And the Grizzlies lead by 7.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
During that break, Coach Dave Yeager had some words for his team. He was intent on running the offense through Randolph. Coach obviously has a ton of faith in his offensive ability and shared that faith with the rest of the players by insisting they get him more involved. He then made another statement, telling his guys to stay alert and aware when defending the outside shot, saying, quote, "They can hurt us on the perimeter if we don't stay right up on them." Those are likely not the last adjustments they make today, guys. There's still time left in this one. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris.
You just assume he's going to knock those down when he's as open as he was there. Well, for the Portland Trailblazers, a new training staff hired over from Oklahoma City. They let go of their previous trainer who'd been with the team for 19 seasons. Fair or not, I think the seat got hot after all the injuries that were really devastating this team.
And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Davis comes in for Kufis, and James Johnson is subbed in for Zach Randolph. And for the Blazers, statistically the most injured team in the NBA, Clark, from 2009 through 2012.
And the new training staff has advanced in not just injury treatment, but injury prevention, and that's key, using strength bands, recording baseline measurements for muscle strength and flexibility, even using Eastern medicine, so they're not leaving any stone unturned.
The Grizzlies shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
Well, you know, Mike Conley has always been one of the quickest guards in the league, in my opinion, and just a blur in transition. And for his size, a pretty good finisher with both hands inside.
And Conley drops them both. And Conley has always been quick, Steve, but he's learning how to use, it seems like, different gears to get around defenders.
I agree, Kev. The change of pace, he's gotten so good with his right hand, too, not just off a dribble, but he frequently finishes plays with his right hand in the paint, those little runners. So a lot of skill and to go along with that speed.
Lures checked in for the Grizzlies. That's good.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And that's what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. More of the same. Get it inside.
So the wing on the left. Johnson outside. He feeds it to Bayless. 6 to shoot. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. Well, here's a group now that knows how to orchestrate from the wing. The top passing small forwards in the NBA during the past 10 games. Nick Batum, 3rd.
And these are some of the best teammates you're ever going to want. I mean, very unselfish guys at a position that sometimes puts more of an emphasis on individual play.
Most of those guys can take matters into their own hands if they need to. But like you pointed out, Steve, that's not their MO. That's not how they want to roll. They want all 5 players on the floor to be involved in the offense, and that's what they want to facilitate.
Now Bayless, averaging 8 points a game.
You've got to like what they've been doing down there in the low post, Clark.
I do. I love it. Their rebounding has been outstanding. So important in a tight game.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Right here, Kevin, over these last 10 games on the Trailblazers schedule, this is how they stack up compared to the rest of the league. Tops in scoring. 1st in free throw percentage. And they're number 2 in team rebounding. A good, balanced, aggressive team on the backboards.
And the points that they're scoring per game that you talked about is really a result of great offensive execution. I mean, this is a club that works well together. They get great looks, and they'll also score in transition.
Miller, the pass to Bayless. Rejected by Robinson. And oh, here we go. Batum's got it. Galloping the fast break chance. And it's right, missing. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. To the left wing, uncovered. And Bayless with the basket, the assist by Miller. Bayless has got his 2nd basket.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Batum against Miller. Batum dishes to Williams. Up the floor. And Lure gets it to go. And now a 5-point Grizzly lead.
Well, that's why they're on the lead. Aggressive play at both ends. Very nicely done there.
Yeah, absolutely. They made the steal pay dividends instantly in the open floor.
The 3rd quarter comes to a close. Grizzlies lead by 5. And we'll have the start of the fourth quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break.
Next Friday.
And Steve, we've got a moment here to go to our State Farm assist of the game, coming on some very clever point guard play.
Well, he mans that position for a reason, Kevin, because he passes the ball so well, sets up his teammates beautifully, really gets this offense into a nice rhythm.
Delivering the pass important, but putting the pass in the right place for a shooter is, as you well know, huge.
Yep, no question.
Filling out the wings, it's Matthews and Batum. Aldridge and Lopez are down low. And it's Lillard in at the point guard. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers. And that one's good. And that's 11 points for Zach Randolph.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
Yeah, Clark, they've been more active and more physical down low, and I think that's been the difference.
And Zach Randolph gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Kufis checked in for Davis. Grizzlies on defense. They've led by as many as 11 points. And Matthews kicks to Aldridge. Clock at 6. Matthews, no good.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, because you know if you continue to give up open looks like that, you're in big trouble.
Back to Allen. And here's Conley outside. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
And assists like that have typified their effort today. Great ball movement.
Really an example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Here's Lopez, and he bangs it home with one hand. I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity, Clark, to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. Gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw, the defensive presence was almost non-existent. They may see this lead disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. You look at Michael Conley. What a contribution.
He just continues to light them up. They're going to have to find a way to make him work harder for his point. Mike Conley, the number 4 pick back in 2007 out of the Ohio State University. He wasn't an instant star in the NBA, but boy, has he continued to improve year in and year out.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Terry Stotts gave to his team during that last break. He talked about their problems at the free throw line, but tried not to make too big a deal out of it. He said, listen, if we keep getting to the line, the ball will start going through the net. The important thing is keep getting there. Maybe that'll take a little pressure off them, guys.
And Conley has played his entire career with the Memphis Grizzlies, improving alongside the team.
I feel like he's going to be an all-star before too long. He's the franchise's all-time leader in assists, but I think the stability and the faith that the organization has placed in him has helped him mature and helped him develop into where he is right now, which I think is one of the best point guards in the game.
I would agree.
Something they'd like to see more of him more often, that's for sure.
Trailblazers trail by 12. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. And it's out of bounds to Portland. They'll retain possession.
Super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. No one covering. Lillard's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Trailblazers. For Memphis, they've gone a perfect 4 of 4 to start the final quarter. Can't ask for anything more than that. Conley up top. He's covered by Lillard. Conley kicks to Randolph. Bank shot, no good.
Nobody anywhere close to him. Where's the defense? He's got to make that shot, though.
Matthews passes to Batum. He kicks it to Lillard. Clock at 6. Shot, high post. The Grizzlies pull it in. Allen outside. for the three, and it's Conley that time on the assist by Allen. Allen's got 4 assists now tonight. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Lopez makes it off the glass. Lopez has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Conley dishes to Allen. Offline with his 3. Trailblazers trail by 10. And Lillard kicks to Batum. That's good. For Memphis, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Allen passes to Randall. And he gets it to go. And the Grizzlies lead by 10.
Clock ticks down, and this is going to be a solid victory here for the Grizzlies.
You're right there, Steve. And one area that stands out that we've seen tonight from them, Clark, their aggressiveness in getting steals, something I know that you really value yourself.
Well, it deflates the opposition when you can be pesky defensively, and then it sparks your offense, and that's what happened for them. When you have the type of effort we saw tonight, it's hard to overcome that kind of defensive pressure.
And so this will mark the 15th win of the year for them.
You look at the stats, and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Zach Randolph. You can't look back at too many major moments in this game and not see him being a part of it. He was all over this one.
Hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
And that one's good by Aldridge.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Here's Conley. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 9. So Memphis ends up going with the new group. And Conley drops them both.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
Portland's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Williams kicks to Freeland. And again, it's Portland converting. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth. Feeds it to Miller. He dishes it to Davis. Conley kicks to Bayless. That's in there. Conley with the assist. And the Grizzlies lead by 11.
And a terrific run to really put this ball game away.
And now let's see how many more points they can throw up there before the horn sounds.
We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. No good from Crabb.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get too many better looks from that range.
That free throw, no good. And he does get the second one. And that brings them to within 10. Now Bayless. Releases. Off target with that shot. So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. They put on a show tonight.